Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to MiM Monday. This is Mickey in Minutes Live, and it's time to make Monday magical. So, if you're new to this show, this is the show where we talk about the latest Disney news. And I like to make this a conversation. So, if you're in the chat, I want you to chime in and let me know your thoughts on the latest Disney news. And if you're watching this as a playback on YouTube or on Instagram, then please, let me know in the comments what do you think of these news stories. And for the second time, I guess, this is now on the official podcast feed. So if you're listening on the podcast feed on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, what's going on? Thanks so much for tuning in. And you as well can leave your comments wherever you listen. So, yeah, this is Mickey in Minutes Live. And there's a bunch of people joining the chat right now. So, what's going on, everybody? Thanks so much for hanging out. And yeah, let's get on with the show. So, we actually have a lot of Hollywood Studios news to talk about, as well as the 2026 Disney After Hours dates and information. So, yeah. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for joining. So, I guess the first story we should talk about today is that the animation courtyard at Hollywood Studios has officially closed. So, not all of it, but most of it. Mainly Star Wars Launch Bay. That's closed now. It closed on September 25th. And then that back area where they had Disney Junior live on stage and that stuff, that's closed as well. And it's already all walled off and everything. It's even been taken off the map already. But of course, you can still get to the new Little Mermaid show back there. But of course, this has all closed to make way for the new Magic of Disney animation show that's filling that spot. It's taking over Star Wars Launch Bay. And so, if you don't know what this show is, of course, it's kind of what was there before. Way back, in the beginnings of Disney MGM Studios, there was the Magic of Disney Animation, where you were able to go in and see real animators at work. You could see them creating real films. Many of the, or a handful of the films that we watch today, the Disney classics. Lilo and Stitch, Mulan are just a couple of them. And the new version of the Magic of Disney Animation is not going to have live artists in that sense. But one of the things you'll be able to do is take a little animation class, kind of like what you could do over at Animal Kingdom. Learn how to draw some of your favorite characters. But there's a ton of other things that are going in there. And this space is going to be inspired by the Disney 100 short about the studio, about the Disney Animation Studio. So if you don't remember, back in Disney 100, a couple years ago when they were celebrating that, they had a short come out, and it was all the characters, and they were going to take like a group photo, and they were coming out of like pictures and stuff on the wall. And that's really the inspiration behind this new area that's coming to Disney's Hollywood Studios. And I don't know about you guys, but I love this. I was never a big fan of Star Wars Launch Bay. I thought Star Wars Launch Bay was pretty cool. I mean, when it first opened, I thought it was a cool place to see Star Wars props and, meet some characters and stuff. Darth Vader, Kylo Ren met there at one point, Chewbacca, BB-8. You could even meet some like Jawas back there. I remember doing some trades with some Jawas at one point. It was really cool. They had like a little cantina like area where like you can pose with some fake blue milk. But it was all really cool until Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opened, And then I feel like at that point, it just became kind of pointless, right? There was really no need for that. It was really an elaborate meet and greet space. There was also a video back there that you can watch called Path of the Jedi. But overall, I think it served its purpose, building up hype for The Force Awakens back when that movie came out, and then also kind of keeping the Star Wars fandom going until Galaxy's Edge opened. Then now it's definitely run its course, and it's it's gone, and this new animation area is coming soon. And another casualty of this change is going to be the big archway out in front of the animation courtyard. That's been there from the beginning. If you don't know, that used to be the entrance to this area, to the whole backlot tour that used to be at Disney MGM Studios. So I think losing that archway is going to be weird. It's still there, but once that comes down, that's going to kind of hurt a little bit. But anyways, how do you guys feel about Star Wars Launch Bay closing? Let me know down in the chat, or leave a comment and let me know how you feel about Launch Bay closing. And again, how do you feel about the magic of Disney animation, the new experience coming to this spot? I think what's really cool about it also is that the whole area is going to be inspired by the studio in Burbank, and it's going to have the big like sorcerer's hat out in the front of the building, which somebody who grew up at Hollywood Studios with the sorcerer's hat might really appreciate that. But yeah, it's going to look like that, even down to the way like some of the grounds are going to look. That's why they're taking down the big archway. They're putting another little sign out in the front. It's going to look really nice. I'm really excited about this. So let me know your thoughts down in the chat or in the comments. I'm curious how you feel about this. But since this area is closed, since Launch Bay is gone, they had to put Darth Vader somewhere, and I guess they just couldn't bring themselves to put Darth Vader at Galaxy's Edge just yet, because I guess a little bit of continuity still matters. You can't have Darth Vader and Kylo Ren in the same space, so they moved the Darth Vader meet and greet. Now he's meeting over at the Star Tours queue area. So I've seen some pictures online of this, and it looks like, at least in the pictures that I saw, that he was meeting in like the Endor area by like the trees and stuff. So that's interesting. I think what I think they should have done is put Darth Vader to meet out in the old like Jedi Training Academy stage, and that's still there, I'm pretty sure. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for joining the chat. Excuse me. I'm pretty sure that stage is still there, right? I just saw it like recently. And I remember like Darth Vader would come out of those doors in the back of the stage, and there would be like smoke and stuff, and there would be a whole like big entrance, like cool thing. Like I feel like they could have done that for the meet and greet, had him enter through there. If I'm remembering Return of the Jedi correctly, which I'm pretty sure I am, I don't think Darth Vader was ever on the moon of Endor, right? So it's weird that he'd be meeting down there. What do you guys think? Maybe it's just me, but it's still a Star Wars themed area, so I guess it works. I feel like they could do something over in Galaxy's Edge, and have your movement through Galaxy's Edge not only be through space but through time as well, and have different areas, or either different areas devoted to some different time periods to get some older characters like Darth Vader out there, or maybe have like different times of the day that are devoted to the different trilogies, right? I mean, we have 3 excellent trilogies. I think it would be awesome to meet Darth Maul, right? Like that'd be really cool. Maybe meet some other prequel characters. So maybe if they had it set up so that like, the morning time is the prequels, and then afternoon is, the original trilogy, and then evening time is, the sequel trilogy or something like that. I don't know. But I feel like we should get more of these classic characters in Galaxy's Edge. What do you guys think? Or are you cool with Darth Vader meeting over at the Star Tours queue? I mean, like I said, it's still Star Wars. So I don't know. Let me know down in the chat. Hey, thanks for joining. A couple more people have just joined the chat. Thanks so much for hanging out. So other things going on at Hollywood Studios, and I think it's it's because we closed Animation Courtyard, Star Wars Launch Bay. The Muppets area has been closed for a while, so I think they're trying to get some more life into Hollywood studios while we wait for some new stuff to open. But they've brought some new entertainment to Hollywood studios. So there's a band called Holly Groove Swingin' Band that's now performing, hanging out in the streets of Hollywood studios. There's a juggler, a juggling act called That's a Record, and I think that's pretty interesting. So like some of this stuff, like all right, the band I think is really cool because the band kind of reminds me of Disney California Adventure, where they have like the Five and Dime. I love that. I love walking through DCA and seeing Five and Dime performing. It really brings that area to life. So I think this band is pretty cool. I haven't seen any videos of this, but it looks like they debuted yesterday, the 28th. So I'm gonna look up some videos and see what this is like. But it looks really cool. I mean, they're wearing like fedoras and stuff, which is pretty classic Hollywood looking. The one that I think is kind of weird is a juggling act. I don't know. That doesn't really scream like old Hollywood to me. I don't know. Let me know. I would like to see more Streetmosphere though, so I think this is a step in the right direction. Hey, welcome to Mickey in Minutes. We're talking about Hollywood studios getting some new live entertainment. Thanks for joining. I love Streetmosphere, and I always think that there should be more Streetmosphere in all of the parks. You know, Hollywood studios. We need like the like back in the day when they had like the actors and stuff that would come around, like the directors, and they would like to start like, you know, going around like Sunset Boulevard or Hollywood Boulevard and like pulling people from the crowd and interacting with people. I like that. Sid Cahuenga, you know, walking around and stuff. So I think having this live music is a step in the right direction. I don't get the juggler though. Did anyone explain that one to me? What does that have to do with old Hollywood? Hey, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Thanks for hanging out. This is MiM Monday. We're talking about Disney's Hollywood Studios right now. So yeah, new entertainment here. It looks like the juggler kind of goes on some like balancing acts and juggles different items, and I don't know. It's weird. What do you guys think of that? You guys think Hollywood Studios needed a juggler? Is that what Hollywood Studios was missing? I don't know about that. But more Hollywood Studios news. Hollywood Studios is all right, in the chat, Hollywood Studios is my favorite park. Yeah, you know, it's always been my second favorite park. Of course, I grew up a Walt Disney World guy. Magic Kingdom's always been my favorite, but I've always said that Hollywood Studios was my second favorite park. You know, way back in MGM Studios days. So more Streetmosphere. Do you like this idea of having a juggler in the park? Does that make sense to you? I know it's like a weirdly specific thing. Hopefully this leads to more themed entertainment, more Streetmosphere that I think works better for the theme of the park. That's where I want to see this heading. This is a step in the right direction. At least they have some people out there. But speaking of having some people out there, we also have some new random meet and greet characters out at Hollywood Studios. Again, I feel like with so many things kind of closed right now, they're just trying to breathe some extra life into this park. But we have some new characters meeting at Hollywood Studios. We have Mary Poppins. She's out in front of the Chinese Theater now. Bert and a penguin are out, or have been out the last couple of days. Pinocchio, Jiminy Cricket. So that's cool. You know, again, I love character interactions. I love things like this happening randomly. I think the character choices are interesting for some of them. Not Mary Poppins. I think Mary Poppins makes perfect sense out in front of the Chinese Theater. I think that's really cool. But, I mean, you know, yeah, bring on the characters. And I think it's interesting since the Animation Courtyard is closed. Where were these characters like when Animation Courtyard was there? I feel like these animated characters would have made a lot of sense in Animation Courtyard. Let's see in the chat. Rock and Roller Coaster is the best. So sad they're changing it to Muppets. Yeah, I love Rock and Roller Coaster. I'm sad that the Muppets are gone. I miss Muppet Vision 3D tremendously. I think the changeover from Rock and Roller Coaster to the Muppets is definitely an interesting one. I'm still kind of on the fence of how I feel about it. I think it was time to change from Aerosmith for sure. I think that was a long time coming, but I I'm not completely sold that the Muppets were the right choice for that. But I'm willing to see what Disney does. As the kids say, let them cook, right? So yeah, so that's a lot of Hollywood studio stuff going on. And just to keep with the Hollywood Studios theme, let's talk about Jollywood Nights because we got some looks at the new merchandise for Jollywood Nights. If you don't know, Jollywood Nights is the hard ticket Christmas after hours event over at Hollywood Studios. This year will be the third year of this party, and I love it. My wife and I went to Jollywood Nights last year for the second year, and it was absolutely amazing. I I had the best time, like the absolute best time. Um, eh, but one of my favorite things about Jollywood Nights is the original character, Ollie, and he's just so cute. He's a little gingerbread man. He has like a little green jacket on, a little like gold bow tie, and he has a little white little hair. I don't know, it's like whipped cream or something, and he's just so cute, little rosy cheeks. I love him. I think he's the best, and he's the mascot of the event. Now I know when the event first started, people kind of thought he was missing. He was only in like one like sign or something, and then last year he was on a ton of the merch, and they had some like a big sign and everything, and they had his projection on the Chinese theater, which I thought was really cool. Um, but this year, I I'm not going to Jollywood Nights this year. I wish I was, but just the way they're using Ollie in the merch is just making me really happy. So they have like a Loungefly backpack, um, and just full on Ollie, like full body Ollie on the back of it, and then a little like keychain hanging off the side that has Ollie in that gingerbread colors, and it's really cute. A new mug this year. We got the Jollywood mug last year. I like the one we got last year better. The one from last year looks like a diner mug, and so it has like that kind of that shape of a diner mug. This one, it has like a cutout of Ollie's face on the side, and it looks like from the pictures, it looks like a half circle. Like the side with Ollie's face on is like flat. It's interesting. But the Spirit jersey is awesome. The front of the Spirit jersey has that it's Ollie playing a saxophone, and so at Jollywood Nights they have like a big like cutout of Ollie playing the saxophone right by the Brown Derby restaurant. So they got that for the front of the Spirit jersey, and it has like a little like sound bubble coming out of the saxophone with like some music notes on it. It says Jollywood Nights, and it's so cute. And then the back just says Jollywood Nights really big on it with a big picture of Ollie's face on the back, and it looks so cute. Oh, hold on, that's my computer. There we go. And so they have a new Christmas ornament, which of course my wife, if you don't know by now, you haven't been listening. But my wife is obsessed with Christmas ornaments. That's her thing. And so they have a new Ollie ornament. Last year the Ollie ornament was like a canvas. It was like a canvas ornament that was in like a wooden frame, and it was cute. We got it, of course. But this year it's like an actual like cutout of Ollie with a big sign next to him that says Ollie on it. It's so cute. So lots and lots of Ollie merch this year, and some Ollie ears. Of course, we have to have Ollie ears. But other news with Jollywood Nights is that if you're a DVC member, you're going to get a special treat at the end of Jollywood Nights. I remember when we went last year, we're not DVC or anything, but they gave out a special treat for everybody. And it was like these flavored marshmallows. They were like little square marshmallows that were supposedly champagne flavored. And they weren't very good, but they were free. They were like little party favors. Over at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, they give out free Christmas ornaments. Last year we got a really cool. We went to that one also last year, of course, and we got a little ornament. So I was disappointed that the Jollywood Nights freebie was just a box of marshmallows. But I wonder what DVC are going to get. So it says special treat, so I'm assuming that it's something edible. I'm not sure what it is, but that's pretty interesting. Um, and one more, I guess, Jollywood Night adjacent story is that Disney has officially announced a new Prep and Landing short coming to Disney Channel and Disney Plus this holiday season. It actually premieres on November 27th and is called Prep and Landing: The Snowball Protocol. The Snowball Protocol. So, if you're not familiar with these are the shorts about these little Christmas elves that they're the ones who prepare the site, the rooftop site, and the whole house area, getting it ready for Santa. Right? They prepare the area for Santa's arrival. So it's really cute. They have like all this like cool technology and stuff, and they're really fun shorts. I think there was like 3 of them before, right? Prep and Landing, the original, came out in 2009. The sequel, Prep and Landing Operation Secret Santa, was 2010. And then Prep and Landing Naughty versus Nice was 2011. And they were short films, and they were very cute. But they were the inspiration to the fireworks show Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam. And that's the fireworks show that is now is now a Jollywood Nights exclusive show. It used to be like just the regular Christmas time fireworks show at Hollywood Studios, that started around 2016 and it ran through 2020, and that was the just a fireworks show at Hollywood Studios with projections of Prep and Landing shorts, for all guests to see. But then when they started doing Jollywood Nights in 2023, it just became a party exclusive fireworks show, and they never really changed anything. What I liked about this fireworks show is that they had some sorry, they had some character moments from other classic Disney films. So like it wasn't just Prep and Landing. They had Beauty and the Beast, Brother Bear, Nightmare Before Christmas, Pluto's Christmas Tree, Mickey's Christmas Carol, all these other shorts. But then they also had some dialogue that was kind of specific to the show. Like I remember them talking about like landing in Orlando, Florida, and stuff like that, which I thought was really cool. But the reason I bring up the new short is because I'm wondering if they're going to update Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam. Because as far as I've noticed, it's been the same show since 2016. And even when they brought it into Jollywood Nights, correct me if I'm wrong, but even if when they brought it into Jollywood Nights, it was still the same show. But now that we have a new Prep and Landing short, do we think they're going to update the show? Do we think they're going to update Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam? I think it's due for an update. I think it's a great show, but if you have a new short, new storylines, maybe even new characters, let's update it. And then also, I think it would be great to update it with some new Christmas content. I mean, the Santa Claus show with Tim Allen on Disney Plus is a hit. I think it's great. So maybe some scenes from that, even the classic Santa Claus movie would be great. But I think it's time to update it. I think Jollywood Nights deserves an updated fireworks show. What do you guys think? So let's go over to the chat. In the chat, let's see. Do you know if there are any gluten-free options in Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom? I'm sorry, I am the wrong person to ask that. I don't eat gluten-free, so I don't really look for that stuff. But that's a really great question. I'm sure there's lots of awesome people on Instagram that can answer that question for you. I'm sorry that I can't answer that. But yeah, so that's a lot of Hollywood Studios news to talk about. So let's move over to Epcot really quick. And quick story there is that we have 2 food booths that opened late for Food and Wine Festival. And I think they were open like intentionally late. I don't think it was like, oops, we opened late. But there were two new booths. And what's funny is that both of these booths, one of them in particular, was one of the ones that we were really looking forward to trying when we went a couple weeks ago, and it wasn't open yet. But the 2 are Coastal Eats, which is seafood. They have like a seafood pot pie and some crab cakes and stuff, and it looks pretty good. And then they have a Guardians of the Galaxy themed booth called Gyozas of the Galaxy, and they sell different like dumplings, like like a buffalo chicken dumpling, street corn dumplings, and I don't know, it just looks really cool. This is the one that I really wanted to try. That both my wife and I really wanted to try when we were there a couple weeks ago. Number one, because Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that's a great franchise, great IP, and I think it's cool that they tied a booth into it. But then also, we just love dumplings. So I don't know if you guys have ever been to Din Tai Fung over in Disneyland at Downtown Disney, but if you like dumplings, you got to check out that restaurant. It's fantastic. So, but yeah, so these are two new booths that just opened for Food and Wine, and if you're around, go check them out. I'd be curious to see how they are, and I'm curious if I missed out on Gyozas of the Galaxy or if it's if it's just okay. But we did try some other food booths. We had a really great time at Food and Wine Festival as well. So you can't go wrong with Food and Wine. So in the chat, Gyozas of the Galaxy sounds amazing. Also, Guardians of the Galaxy is the best coaster in my opinion. You know what? I find it really hard to disagree with you on that. I think Guardians of the Galaxy is a fantastic coaster. It's a story coaster, and it has great music and amazing IP. So, yeah, can't go wrong with Guardians of the Galaxy. I do have a nostalgic soft spot in my heart for Space Mountain being very classic Disney coaster, but Guardians is amazing. So, yeah, I thought we'd end this conversation today talking about Disney After Hours for 2026. Disney Parks blog has posted some dates and information about the 2026 Disney After Hours events. So, Disney Parks blog says guests staying at select Disney Resort hotels, Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin hotels, and Shades of Green can purchase their Disney After Hours tickets starting October 9th, 2025, and all other guests can purchase their tickets on October 14th. And so that's really cool. What this is, basically, is the park will close to regular guests, and then people with this extra ticket, can stay later. You get lower wait times, you get meet and greet characters, free snacks while you're there. So it's it's an after hours event. It's basically like any of these parties they do. So Jollywood Nights we were just talking about, or Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, or right now we're in fall, so Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. It's basically these types of things, but without a holiday theme. It's just you get to hang out in the park after dark, and they let a lot less people in, so it's very much less crowded. So in 2026, Magic Kingdom After Hours will be 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. on select nights. So what kind of bugs me about this, and it's just another example of Disney monetizing things that used to be free, is just that. The parks used to be open really late. Like, I remember going plenty of times before COVID and staying in the parks till 1, just on a regular, summer or weekend night. It would just stay open that late anyways. So I know that after COVID, the hours kind of shifted, everything kind of got shorter, and then they kind of stuck to it that way. But now they're monetizing these late nights, which, kind of frustrates me a little bit, but it's a really great opportunity if you're willing to spend that extra money to have the park feel empty, to have kind of the park to yourself, Now the after hours event at Magic Kingdom will start officially at 10 p.m. That's when the park is cleared of regular guests. But if you have an after hours ticket, you can enter the park as early as 7 p.m. So that's pretty cool. This isn't the kind of thing that I would recommend like as an add-on to a regular day ticket. If you want to do something like this, my recommendation is do something else at Walt Disney World and then show up at the park at around 7 and just enjoy your evening. Go resort hopping, or hang out at your resort and hang out in the pool or something. Go to Disney Springs, go to a water park, right? Something like that. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend having a day ticket to Magic Kingdom and then also an after hours ticket. I mean, unless you want to, but I feel like you get enough time, and the fact that the park has so many less people in it means that you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck, right? You're going to be able to do, probably the amount of stuff that you would have been able to do throughout a full park day just during these after hours times. At least that's how they kind of bill it as, right? Now, the only thing is, I need some water. The only thing is that not every attraction is open. So right now, and this is subject to change, the list for Magic Kingdom attractions for this after hours event are Tron, Space Mountain, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Haunted Mansion, It's a Small World, Jungle Cruise, Peter Pan's Flight, Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid, and the Mad Tea Party. So not everything is open. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Mickey Minutes. We're talking about Disney After Hours. Thanks for joining us. And then of course you can get typically you can get free Mickey bars, popcorn, free bottled beverages. But and also you just vibe out to a half empty park at night. So the dates for these, let's see, January 12th, 19th, February 2nd and 9th and 23rd, March 2nd and 9th, April 13th and 20th, May 4th, May 11th, May 18th, May 25th. Ooh, that's my wife's birthday. June 1st, June 22nd, June 29th, July 13th, and July 27th. So if you're in Disney around any of those times and you want to have the park to yourself at Magic Kingdom in the evening, there you go, after hours. Now, they're also doing it at other parks as well. So Disney Hollywood Studios, that's 9:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. So it doesn't end as late as the Magic Kingdom one, which ends at 1 a.m. But again, you can enter at as early as 7 p.m. And the attractions open for that one are Rise of the Resistance, Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, Slinky Dog Dash, Alien Swirling Saucers, Toy Story Mania, Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So, and then it says surprise character encounters. That's pretty cool. And DJ Rex will still be spinning tunes. You can go over at Oga's, and yeah, complimentary snacks again, popcorn, ice cream, bottled drinks, all that stuff. And that's select dates over at Hollywood Studios. A lot of dates. I'm not going to read all these dates again. There are different dates than Magic Kingdom though. But if you want to find out those dates, you can go over to Disney Parks blog and check them out. And then of course they're also doing it for Epcot. So that one, select dates as well, 9:30 to 12:30 a.m. And again, starting at 7 p.m. And you could ride Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, Test Track, Frozen Ever After, Soarin', Grand Fiesta Tour, Living with the Land, Mission Space, Seas with Nemo and Friends, and Spaceship Earth. So, hey, what's going on? Thanks for joining. So, lots of attractions over there. You can meet Mickey Mouse, Goofy. Goofy's going to be having a DJ dance party at Communicore Plaza. Goofy Core. and Minnie Mouse. You can meet Minnie Mouse. So lots of things going on there. And, of course, there's food different areas around the world as well. Around the World Showcase, Rose and Crown, and a few other kiosks around World Showcase will be open during this time. Is there park hopping in Disney after hours? That's a question in the chat. So I don't think so. These are hard ticket events. And they're not going to be on the same nights, I don't believe. So you have to go in to that park and stay there. I don't think there's going to be a night where there's two after hours events at the same time. If there is, it's a hard ticket event. So it's like party rules where, you wouldn't be able to use one party ticket to go into more than one, if that makes sense. So yeah, great question. And then of course a bunch of dates for that as well. A lot of dates. I won't read them right now. But go over to Disney Parks blog and check them out. So lots of really cool things going on. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely a night owl when it comes to Walt Disney World. But honestly, I'm also a rope drop guy. So um, I am the crazy person who will do rope drop to as late as they possibly let me stay there. Like on this last trip, we stayed at Magic Kingdom until they were literally shutting the metal like garage doors over the shops on Main Street because you have to drag me out of these parks by my hair. So after hours events are right up my alley. I've never been to one of these after hours events. Have you guys? Let me know in the chat. Have you ever been to one of these? Um, oh, in the chat, someone just posted, I got accepted at the Disney College program. Hey, congratulations. That's really awesome. I hope that you have the best experience. And, let us know where you're working so anybody in Walt Disney World can come visit you. That's really cool. Congratulations. That's very awesome. So let me know in the chat if you guys ever been to a Disney after hours event. I'm curious because I haven't been to one of these before. But I love staying late at the parks and I love parties. I love Jollywood Nights. I love Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. So I think this is something that I would be really into and I would be willing to give it a shot. Maybe I think this would be a cool thing to do like on your arrival day. Like if you get into Orlando late and you don't want to burn a full park ticket, I would get an after hours ticket if it's available and just do that. That sounds like a really cool idea. See in the chat, I might do Magic Kingdom and Epcot and Disney Cruise. Those are easy entertainment roles. Okay, cool. Good to know. Again, I hope you have a really great time. And yeah, that's awesome. So, anyways, guys, this was a really great MIM Monday. I really enjoyed talking about the latest Disney news with you guys. And if you're watching this as a playback on YouTube, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on these stories down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. If you're listening to this on the podcast feed, thanks so much for listening. If you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, then be sure to subscribe. And again, leave a like and a review wherever you listen. And of course, if you're watching on Reels, thanks so much for watching as well. Give this video a like. And everybody else, please remember you can join me live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Be part of the conversation like these awesome people in the chat have been tonight. And tell your fellow Disney friends about this show, about Mickey in Minutes. And I just want to continue to see this community grow because I love hanging out with you guys and talking about the latest Disney news with all of you. So with that, this has been great. I'm your host, Nick Lazaga. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, what's going on, everybody?